Hello there, this is One Life to Collect. This is the last video in the series going through all of my world banknotes. So I've done one video for each of the binders, so go check those out. Let me know what you think. I did my last video on the US notes, which I'm just really starting to collect right now. And I'm going to finish the series with Canada, which is actually where I am from. So let me get this out of the binder. So yeah, I also, because I concentrate more on the world notes, I haven't gone that deep into Canada. I think I've probably done better than I have in the US, but yeah, still looking to fill some gaps. Just as a reminder, I don't really care necessarily about the condition. If I find a really low grade one, I'd rather have it than not have it and then replace it later with a nicer one. But for now, I just want to keep, have as many different denominations and series as possible. If I have a duplicate, it's usually because it's a different date or there's some big variation on the note itself. Before I go through this one, I actually have, funny enough, I didn't mention it in the US video, but I've got a framed $1 uncut note set. And I've also got a framed $1 Canada note set. And then alongside this $2 kind of proof set with the toonie coin and this nice little binder here. I've got some kind of like random ones here that I'll probably put them up for sale or trade at some future point. But yeah, so starting in the binder, so I kind of go from oldest series to newest, and then in denomination order, increasing order. So here's some of the older 25-cent fractional notes. I think these are called shin plasters, if I'm not wrong. These are kind of the big $1 notes. So this one here, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think, anyways, I won't. And then these are the black and the red seal one. So these are all like kind of the large $1 series. They're all in pretty poor condition. I mean, but again, I'd rather have them than not have them. Here's the $2 Dominion of Canada note. I'm leaving some placeholders to kind of get some of the other ones. Here's, I think, the 1935 series. I can't remember if I have any of the US one, or the translated Canadian ones. Or sorry, translated ones from Quebec. But I know they came in English and in French. So there's the 1, here's the 10. I mean, price tag on that one was pretty high, but I think I got that for 400. So let me know if that was good or bad. Here's a Canadian Bank of Commerce note. Love the artwork. I mean, really, really nice artwork back in the day. So here's the 1937 series, I believe. So the $1, 2, and 5. I think one of these is like really rare. Maybe it's the 2. So I have a few different ones of the 1. Here's the back of the 2 and the back of the 5. Here's the 10, 20, and 50. Okay, and then here's lastly the 100. Let's see what I spent on that. Not too bad. And I know, just knowing other Canadian collectors, I know there's a big deal on some of the signatures, even with the devil's face in the hair. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's pretty interesting. And quite frankly, actually, I don't even know if I've got a devil's face note in here, but I'll double check someday. But I'll get them. Again, like for me, I'd rather get kind of a different denomination or series before I kind of get the weird quirky ones. But yeah, at some point I'll get a devil's face, but it's in the back of her hair there. So here's the $1. Here's the Centennial 1967 special edition. Here's $2. They're just falling out here. I've got quite a few of these ones. Here's the 5, the 10, and the 20 with kind of the young queen on there. Nice landscapes on the back. Here's the 50 Here's a couple of the hundreds. I forget why I have different types. Oh, it's just the different signatures on there. So Canada might be the only one that I actually saved the different signatures on. And then, check this out, it's the $1,000 note. You know, it's pretty rare to get these. I know they've demonetized them. Still costs $1,000 to get, but with you know, $1,000 in 1954 with depreciation, obviously, is I think it costs me like, I don't know, $60 or something every year to just keep this, right, in terms of its buying power. So I love having it, but yeah, I know it's a lot of money to tie up in one note. In fact, I think it's my most expensive note in my whole collection. So here's the one. These are the ones that, not to give away my age, these are the ones I used when I was a kid. So 1, 2, that was my allowance. There's 5s. There's 1, 2, and 5. And then 10, 20, and 20. So there was a kind of a slight difference. This is like 69, and then it was reissued in 79. So not a whole lot of difference in the 20. I don't really know why they did that with the 20 and not the others. Here's the 50. It's probably one of my favorite, and I'll show you why in a second when I show you the back. And then here's a $100 bill. I mean, this was like the big deal when I was a kid. There is no 1,000 in this series, but yeah, so here's the 50. I mean, I think it's one of the nicest reverse side notes in my collection. Like, and I know I'm biased, but I think it looks really, really nice. And then here's the 100. So again, no 1,000 in that series. There is in the next one. This is called the Bird series. So I've got a whole bunch of these. I mean, this one's a whole stack that, I don't know if you can see, they're all sequential serial numbers. If I could put it back here. And then same with the 5. I've got a whole bunch of them, and some are sequential, others aren't. Here's the 10. And here's the back. That's why it's called the Bird series. There's the 20. So I got a few of those. A couple of the 50s. And then the 100s. So there's the backs. And then here's the 1,000. So that one had a $1,000 note as well. So again, depreciation sucks to kind of hang on to these, but it's really, really cool. I love having them. And I didn't pay that much over face value for this. So I think something go for like $11.50. I've seen on the low end, I paid less than that. So I don't know, maybe it was smart, maybe it wasn't, but it is what it is. And here's a $2 uncut note, so similar to what I've got in that binder, but this is just kind of a standalone. There's the back of the 1,000. Pretty cool. There's the 2. And then here's some of the kind of early 2000s. This is the last paper series. Some of these have the security band, others don't. So here's the 5. This is the one that people turn into Spock. Here's the 10. So again, without the security band. Here's the 20 with the Queen on there, playing hockey, of course, stereotypical. Really cool. So there's the 50, and there's the 100. And again, there's no 1,000 in this one either. So there's the back of the 50, the back of the 100. And then now this is the start of the polymer notes, so plastic. I made a joke one time, or somebody told me that you couldn't rip them. And so I was on a trip, and I had some non-Canadians, and I took one out of my wallet, told them I couldn't rip it, and guess what? It tore right down the middle. True story. So they do in fact tear. Just watch out if you're trying to impress people. It might backfire on you. But so here's the 10, and then there's some kind of special issue 10s here. There's the Canadarm, the back of that. There's the train. I'm blocking the light here, of course. And then there's the vertical note. I think this one won an award, so it's got kind of the vertical design on it. Here's the new 20 with the Queen, and then this is one, I don't think you can see it. Oh yeah, you can in the video, hopefully. It's the, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it wrong, the Diamond Jubilee or something like that. So they put out just for that year, they put out a special one. Here's the continuation of the vertical design. There's the 20, and then of course the special watermark there. Here's the 50 and the 100. There we go. Again, I don't really know if I have anything special in terms of like serial numbers or signatures or anything like that. So these are all novelty, just like I had in the back of the US one. I have some Canadian ones that they're basically worthless, but I kept them anyway. Some are interesting. Like this is just a reprint, remake of the old series. This is Bank on Carling. I have no idea why that was produced. These ones I don't even know. The Queen with a mustache on it, no idea. Couldn't bring myself to throw it out, even though it's just on basic paper. Here's some political thing I don't understand. Fake million. Here's another fake million. Again, you get those in kind of dollar stores for $1 or something. And then Smith's Falls. I don't even know what that is. 500 lucky bucks. Okay. Whatever. There we go. And then Canadian Tire. So for folks who aren't Canadian, there's a store. It's like a department store, and they sell all kinds of stuff. But what they used to do, instead of cash back, they'd give you their own kind of currency, so you could buy anything you want. I think you got a certain percentage of your purchase back in Canadian Tire money. And I guess Rona did it as well. They're competitors, but yeah, so Canadian Tire money is pretty famous. I think there's collectors of just that stuff from the past, but yeah, so they'd give it to you in your change, and then you'd spend it on the next time you go. And here's kind of one of the newer ones. And then here's a Hell note. I was going to put it with the China notes, but I realized I think this is adapted for Canada, but for those of you who know what the Hell notes are, they burn them for good luck or bad luck or something like that in China. So I guess this is a Canadian version of it. So that is my Canadian binder. So I'm just kind of getting started. I think I've got some really cool early ones, not in great shape, but they're kind of holding a spot for now in my collection. Oh yeah, I've also got this Looney, pretty cool. So yeah, so that is my entire collection. So 16 binders as of now. If I get any more, I might post some more videos, but yeah, check out the rest of the series. Give me some feedback. Let me know if I have any like hidden gems in there. Again, I don't really buy for value or collect for value. So if I do have something in there, just let me know. And then, yeah, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.